one night that we live tonight. Let's ride till we're out of sight. So far, so they never fade down our halo. Oh, let it go. Oh, let it go. One moon to inspire these lines, one love to ignite our hearts, one song we'll be singing out loud. Oh, there's no stairway to the sky, but I believe it is a trap. We'll fly, fly so high, no they can't make us calm down. Oh, let it go. Oh, let it go.
Hello.
What's going on?
I can see by his face what he's about to do. Do it. Just do it.
It's really bright in here.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to do it. Fuck it, I don't even care today.
Do it.
Nope. I'm not sure where the light is coming from that's all crazy bright, so.
If I had a guess, I don't know.
He's like, y'all are white.
We're not white. Wait.
Alexa, turn off dungeon lights.
Okay.
There you go. That's a little better,
Oh, it's
right?
coming from the bright light. So turn that one down, like to 50.
Alexa, turn Kevin's lamp to 50%.
Okay.
Hey, look at that.
And we are white. Don't get me wrong. Like, I am pasty.
We are white.
I literally live inside. So, but welcome everybody to the podcast, episode 45.
You're wearing a pink hat, and it looks white.
Yeah, I know. Here, I'll take the hat off. We'll take the hat off today because it is pink. Let's see if I can get it. See,
I mean, I'm
like
not
a-
sure where all that light is coming from, but
it could just be the hat. I don't know. We're pretty. We're beautiful. I'll take the hat off. Episode 45. Super excited. To make it this far. We are legitimately only 7 weeks away from a full year of podcast. It's been an interesting one, I would say, for the most part. Like, I feel like we need to have like a New Year's party.
Yeah. Like
where we pop champagne and pop bottles, like all the cool kids say. All right, that should be better. It's the camera settings. Lights and cameras are tough. Okay.
it's hard to get them right.
Yeah, like 1 week it looks beautiful.
1 week it looks great. Another
Next week
it looks terrible.
like I look like Casper the Ghost, his twin cousin. But welcome everybody. I hope everybody's still staying safe. I know things are starting to open back up slowly but surely. It's been a week, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I know with me, I was starting my new job this week. It was the first time I was going out on an assignment. And it's been interesting. I've learned a lot. Like, it was kind of cool, meeting the team and actually going through the process of getting onboarded and stuff. So, looked at more houses because many of you guys, I think, know I am looking to get a house. So, that way, those two nerds can step up their game and actually have a dedicated space. Because we love you guys. And I couldn't be here without you.
I think I fixed the lights.
You did good, kid. You did good.
We're only 7 minutes on the air. It's fine, but we look good now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the crappy thing. Like, I'm telling you, Streamlabs, if you're out there listening right now, you need to have a split layer. You need to be able to edit. So have your main display. So like when you guys are sitting there waiting for the timer and stuff, we could be tinkering around with another layer, like another scene.
Yeah.
I think that would be a neat little feature.
I think you can.
Yeah.
I just don't play with it.
Don't they live in Delaware?
No, they live Granville, near Granville.
Okay.
I
Nice.
think. Let's see. Jake Hidwell, Seti Chomper, Irish Panda, Flip the Table. Welcome everybody.
Yeah, it's been a process. I will say buying a house is probably the most stressful thing, but it's such a fun experience. Like, it's fun to see people style and go in and
Groveport.
literally look at
I knew it started with a G. I was like, Groveport.
Yeah, but it's been interesting looking at houses and going through the process. Big shout out to the real estate agent for helping us out for everything. But what's been up this week for you? Like, what's been going on?
This week for me, I'm trying to knock out some of the games on my backloggery.
Yeah.
For anyone who does not know what that is, I'll post a link here shortly. It's backloggery.com. I was talking about it a little bit last week. It's an actual website. You know what? While we're doing that, I might even bring it up.
Okay.
I'll figure out how to do that in a second. But basically what it is it's a website, and it's got, you input all your games into it, and you can put them in different statuses. And then it gives you an overall, like, how close you are to completing all your games. Some of the games that you put in there, obviously, that you can't beat, a game that you can't finish, like I would say Animal Crossing.
Minecraft you can beat.
But it kind of not, too.
Yeah,
right?
it's an infinite game. It depends.
World of Warcraft, you really can't beat it.
Yeah.
Thanks for the like, Trudy. So games like that you can put as a different status, and they don't count against your overall progression towards completing all of your games. But games with an actual story, a beginning, a middle, and end, they have like 3 statuses. So it's unplayed. So if you've never put it in your machine, unfinished. So you have turned it on, but you haven't finished it yet. And then they've got completed, which means you have basically done everything in the game that you can do. You've gotten all the trophies. You got the platinum trophy.
Yeah.
You've 100% of the game, and then they just have beaten. So you've just seen the end credits. You didn't try to go through and get all the trophies or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea. Like I said, I mean, there's probably a lot of people out there, and I think we all come guilty to it as being a nerd / like a gamer itself. You run into the fact of like not really completing. You go out and buy a $60 game, you play it for like 2 weeks, you don't actually beat it ever, and you end up like, oh hey, like I'm never gonna touch that game again.
No, and okay, so I'm super guilty of this. I collect Switch games. I know you guys seem to think that I collect PlayStation games because I have a lot of those too. But how many physical PlayStation games do I have?
Very rare, just because of the sharing and stuff.
I have probably less than 10 actual, probably less than 7. I'd say
7?
Physical games. I've given a bunch of them away.
Okay.
For PlayStation, unless I had to have the disc. Like when I bought Farpoint with the gun, it came with the disc. Like I bought Diablo 3, and the only reason I haven't gotten rid of that, GameStop said they were going to give me $1.25 for it. I was like, I'll just leave it on my shelf for $1.25.
Honestly, I'll wipe my ass with it and flush it down my.
So I wanted something because I already have an app that keeps track of my physical game collection. Because I'm kind of a Nintendo fanboy, as you can. Oh, you can't make it all out.
Yeah.
Behind me, but I have more than you do. You have more of what than me?
Probably PlayStation
physical discs. Absolutely, I'd say that the average PlayStation gamer probably has more physical discs than I do.
Oh, for sure.
I think even you probably have more physical discs than I do.
I wouldn't even know where they're at, to be honest. Like I said, you don't ever have the need for shelves for video games anymore, really.
No, but I do like Switch. I like Switch physical cartridges. I like the cases. I mean, I don't like some of the practices that some of the game studios are doing where they're not putting the entire game on the cartridge. They're not shelling out for the larger cartridges and stuff. But when the game companies do, when they splurge that a little extra bit, I buy it. Case in point, CD Projekt, or Red Project, the people that make The Witcher 3, they splurged and got the 32 gig cards, right, for The Witcher so it would all fit on one cartridge. I bought it.
Yeah.
Like 100% just bought it.
Yeah, that's crazy to me to think about, like, all the amount of storage that goes. Because, I mean, I know there's a ton of coding, ton of images and displays and all this stuff on how it all works. And to fit it into such a small thing. And I know people at home, like, if you're a gamer, and I see people's PCs, running almost at max memory with 2 terabytes and 1 terabyte. And I'm like, it blows my mind. Because I'm like, it just goes to show you that you don't delete anything.
I don't.
And it's not that it's a bad thing. Like, I find myself, especially with like my SSD in my computer, is, once it kind of gets over, I would say probably when it's about almost full, maybe 100 gigs left or so, I'm like, okay, let's go through and see what games I'm not even touching. And
yeah, that's kind of what I do. I find when, especially with my PC now, if I haven't turned the game on in a month, it's time to take it off. Because I'm probably not going to pick it back up again.
And you're not wrong. And guess what?
For a while.
I'll take my hour or so time to re-download it.
Depending on the game. Like, there's a couple of games that just make you sad to uninstall them. A game like the size of Red Dead Redemption or a game the size of Final Fantasy 15. Oh my god, it takes forever to download.
But it doesn't bother me. Like I said,
it's just the download time.
The 2 games that I uninstalled actually recently was taking up almost 140 gigs.
Yeah. Was
Fortnite and Borderlands. I played Borderlands, I beat Borderlands, and never touched it since. Fortnite, like I said, it's not really a game you beat, but I just wasn't playing it at all. Like, I wasn't even turning it on. And I uninstalled it, and I'm like, well, just freed up 140 gigs. So, like I said, I mean, people struggle with that, and with the whole game company splurging for this extra disk space, yeah, there's nothing worse than, midnight release or something like that. You open up the package and you're like, well, I still got a 40 gig download. See you guys. I might as well would have just stayed home and it would have downloaded the 40 gigs. I'd be playing at the exact same time my friends would. Or the pre-downloads. The pre-downloads now are beautiful.
I think that's why a lot of the game companies are trying to go towards more of a streaming platform, and it's because as technology progresses, it's just a natural occurrence. File sizes of games are just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh yeah.
As they improve graphics, they improve lengths of games. I don't even think that they're necessarily making games longer than they used to. I mean, it's definitely games like The Witcher, 100+ hours.
No, it just takes more power.
But I would say overall, most games still kind of fall within that, like, anywhere between 10 and I'd say 40-hour range, which is a big range.
For sure.
There's still some RPGs out there that are going to get you 80+ hours, absolutely, especially in the Japanese RPGs,
Oh,
like
for sure.
your Dragon Quests and your Final Fantasies.
But my thing with it, with what all goes with that, is just like, take the time, and I'm telling you, people with the appreciation, and I can't stress this enough, the fact that games can now be digitally downloaded, and the fact that midnight release comes out, and my game's already done downloading. I know I
can hit start and play.
12 o'clock, soon as that timer hits, it's going to start up and play. Now, their servers may crash. That's probably going to happen, but at the same time, I can sit there and play. And
it's also nice for people who they can't stay up, right?
No.
So if a game, because a lot of times games come out on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. There's some games that come out on Fridays. They do.
Yeah.
But you can have the whole thing downloaded. You can go to work. When you come home, it's done. You hit start and you're playing.
Exactly. Instead of making that, maybe 15, 20 minutes trip to the store, and by the time you get home, set up, you got your Mountain Dew, you got your Doritos, whatever, to set up the battle station for the evening. You've lost an hour.
Yeah.
You've lost an hour of precious game time, and as nerds, that's important.
Well, I remember that when we went and we picked up Destiny 1 with all the expansions, we got the Forgotten King disc.
Oh, we were so pissed.
We put the disc in because it was a good deal on the disc.
It was $15.
It was like $15
for Destiny 1 and all the expansions.
All 3 expansions. It was all the content for $15. So we put the discs in. Then we had to. How long was the download?
It was 102 gigabytes.
102 gigs of download.
Yep.
Then updates.
And then updates.
And then updates and patches.
And with PS4, they do a copying. So essentially what they do is they take the past update. So it updates it all the way fully. Okay? So it picks up the most local version. The update, that copying files, by the way, guys, I don't know if you guys know what that means. That is deleting all the old files. All the old files, and then re-implementing it. So you're essentially downloading twice.
Yep.
Back and forth.
You're downloading it once, just for the data packets. Then you're uninstalling and then basically downloading it again.
Yeah. So you'll find it a lot that you have those downloads. But like I said, I think as technology progresses, if you would have said, 10 years ago, man, I just put I just put a 1 terabyte in my computer, that would last you forever.
Now I was just talking to him yesterday. I was like, I think I need more hard drive space. He's like, well, how much you got? I was like, a terabyte. He's like,
terabyte and a half.
He's like, uninstall stuff, bro.
Like I said, I've had my computer now for 4 years, maybe a little less, maybe 3, and I have a 500 gig SSD NVMe, and then a 1 terabyte hard disk, and I think I'm at 500 total. Like, I'm at 1/3.
I only have,
I delete shit.
I only have 1 terabyte total in my machine. I don't have a mechanical hard drive.
Yeah, I just delete shit.
So. Let's see, Amanda, welcome to the show. I don't think I've ever actually seen you in chat before, so welcome.
But before we get off the computer topic, because I feel like now we're just talking about PC.
Now we're just talking about stuff. So yeah, back to my original point, backloggery. I got this thing to keep track of basically my digital games, and I noticed a very upsetting trend of not only do I have a bunch of games that I've never finished, which I knew that. I knew that part. I had a bunch of games I had never played. Yeah. Like, never even... I have them installed. I purchased them. I've never even turned them on.
Yeah, but a lot of times, like I said, you can run into the issue of this is where... maybe there's been multiple times where double releases come out. So you're like, okay, well, I'm going to play this game tonight. And then you just totally forget about your other game.
Well, or you get a bundle, right? Like, you get a bundle, a good deal. Like, case in point, they had a great deal in the Assassin's Creed bundle a couple weeks back. Mm-hmm. But it came with, 6 Assassin's Creed games.
You can't play all 6.
You can't play all 6 of them at the same time. You're going to play one. Then you're like, I'm done playing Assassin's Creed for a while.
Yeah. And flip the table, I used to work with a guy with an 8 terabyte porn collection.
That's gross.
It was probably labeled homework. No, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine how much power you need to have.
Can you imagine how big the servers are on like Pornhub?
Oh, I couldn't even imagine.
That's wow.
Nation-
I bet you they rival Facebook.
You think they rival Facebook?
I bet you they do.
I bet there's probably, I don't know. There's a lot of like older generation people that get on Facebook.
There's a lot of older generation people that get on Pornhub.
I mean, I know. I'm not disagreeing with the fact people get on Pornhub. I know people get on. It's not like, I mean, I was gonna say people get on Pornhub under the age of 18, even though it says you need to be 18. They're like, I'm 18. But
let's see. Anything else going on with me? No, I've been just trying to knock out some of that stuff. So that's been kind of difficult because I'm realizing that I pick up a lot of games like we were just talking about that are like 40 plus hours. Like
Right.
they're minimum 40, and they start going towards that 100
and
plus hours.
this man works so much.
I don't have time.
I think, in all honesty, I think if we both sat down and just played through your whole collection, we'll both do it.
Yeah.
I don't think we would finish in a year.
Every game,
Every game. Just beating.
just PlayStation or Switch.
I'm saying
You
your
want like
whole
combine them?
collection.
Because I don't think you could get through my Switch collection in a year. Honestly.
That's what I would love to see. And I think a lot of people run into this problem. Like, I don't know how many times I've probably started up a campaign or something like that and just never finished it.
Let's see. Amanda says, I have a 15-year-old son. Pornhub. Yeah, he knows where it's at. He knows he knows where to get the porn.
So, one thing I can recommend, not for Pornhub, if you...
Get the premium.
It's free for a week. Just add card.
Just throw your credit card on there. It'll be fine.
But
Mom and Dad will never know.
well, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this. I'm not an advocate. And I don't speak for Pornhub Premium, but I'm pretty sure they do a discreet message for Pornhub, to your bank statements. So that way, if your mom has linked to your account, it probably says 1099 from Auto Trader.
The only time that it would flag them is if they also have an account with Pornhub.
Yeah.
They're like, wait a minute, I've seen that charge before.
I've seen the Millsbury.com.
We should be sharing. I'm gonna make him pay for it and let him share with me.
Yeah, it's like sharing Netflix password. You just share your Pornhub. But
oh man,
that's what I'm saying. Not about Pornhub, but like I said, people's game collections could take a while. But other than games, I know this weekend I got to work with my homeboy, mod / lover of games.
yeah, he games way harder than you do.
Darethor. Or Abel, he comes here in the chat.
Yeah,
there.
85 different screen names.
Yeah.
So when he's going to be doing his Twitch thing, and we'll have an official name for him, and that's what he will be known for as forever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call him anything else.
So right now we actually got to sit down, and he's been
Right there, up to 3 different names.
he's been sitting around, and he's pretty much never had a bomb ass PC, and I'm not talking a streaming PC. I'm just talking a bomb ass gaming PC. He's always bought the pre-builts, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just they give you pretty bad parts. They give you very bare minimum. A lot of times you're probably just paying for the graphics card that's in it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part.
It's true.
So after looking at it, we sat down, and he likes to call it the Trump check, because you got to check for the $1,200, which probably most of you got. He sat down, and we built him a PC, and it's actually a pretty baller ass one. And if you guys ever need builds for PCs, seriously, let me know. I can have a PC built for you and ready to go in 3 hours.
Yep.
3-4 hours. I've gotten better at it over time. So just let me know. And, I charge reasonable rates. Don't let Micro Center install their Norton and dumb shit. Because I love when they try to sell you warranties. I hate people that sell me warranties. Because I'm like, do you understand the manufacturer warranty wants you to do? The manufacturing on a EVGA graphics card is 5 years. I don't need your stupid 1-year protection plan from Micro Center. If this thing breaks, I'm going to go straight to the source. I'm going to be like, hey, you broke it.
The only thing nice about an in-store warranty is if you have a problem,
Yeah.
you take it back to them.
Yeah.
They'll deal with it. If you're dealing with a
But
manufacturer's warranty,
I
you got to
just-
go to the company.
I've just had so many people, no offense to Best Buy, but I've had so many people that worked with Geek Squad and stuff like that, and they have been irate about it. So they've had a broken computer or something like that. Maybe, something went out. They send it to them. They're like, oh, yeah, this is going to be this and this. We got to send it out to our real professionals. They bring it back to them like 2 weeks later. Like, they take forever with your thing. You get it back to them. They give it back to you. And then it breaks again with the same issue. And you're like, wow, you get paid to do this. You fucking moron. But I have nothing against warranties and store warranties. No. I just personally don't like them. But
I don't like them either.
Your manufacturer warranties are probably going to be better, and you're going to get way better customer service because guess what? They're probably bigger than that company. But we sat down, built him a PC, and he's actually really, really excited because he finally gets to stream, and he has kind of announced to me, and he's probably going to make an announcement about it later. He will be going to stream under the name of Tadasu Utari, which he can tell you what that means, because I don't want to... He's kind of a weeb. He likes anime, so if you like anime, you're probably going to like him. But he's been wanting to stream for a while. I guess he's just thought about doing it. So make sure you guys send him some waifus or body pillows, with the anime chicks on them, because I guess that's what...
I'm actually excited for his streams because he games harder than you do.
He games harder, but...
You get on a kick, you play the same thing for a while, and I like to watch different stuff. I like to watch games with stories.
Because you're lame.
You're into League of Legends, and then
I don't even play League. I've actually
you'll do League for a while, and then you'll do Fortnite for a while, and then you'll do Call of Duty for a while, and then you'll do whatever you're on now.
It's called an addiction, Kev.
It's not an addiction. I like to watch games with a story.
Yeah. I'm starting back up tonight. Streaming? Nice.
Dope.
If you're starting to stream again, like I said, I've been on the fence of fully getting back into it, fully dive back into it. I think I'm just waiting for me to get everything handled out stress-wise, with the houses and stuff like that.
My thing has been that the world has fucking sucked for 2.5, 3 months.
It just doesn't make you feel like you want to do anything.
And now, especially with all the stuff that's going on, we're not going to go into all of that, but you guys all know what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
And
if you don't, I'm really concerned.
Go get on the internet and go look. There's some stuff going on in the world. We don't really want to talk about it. No. Because this is not a political show, or it's not anything like
it's
that.
It's a nerdy show.
We here on Those Two Nerds believe that
everybody is magical.
That no one should get killed for anything. We believe that for dumb things. If you are a serial killer, F you. If you're a little pedophile, F you. You deserve to get shot in the face or whatever. But everybody else, no. Everyone else, no.
That got brutal.
So that's about all.
We went from magical ponies to shot in the face.
Pedophiles? I can't stand perverts. Well, I cannot stand perverts as much as I can't stand racists at all. But you already know that. Those types of people they destroy people's lives. I don't like them at all.
Yeah, I agree.
So fuck those guys.
And like I said,
and ladies, whoever out there is doing those things.
I don't know. Never mind. I was gonna say but I'm not even gonna get to it.
So like I said, we don't get into the politics or anything like that. But honestly,
but we feel for you guys.
But we know this stuff's going on in the world. So
we support everybody.
No, I wouldn't say that we support.
We support you guys. We support I think it's really cool because, like I said, I don't know. This
because when you say everybody, that means Nazis and everything. We can't support them because Nazis suck.
Maybe they'll band together.
No, they won't.
Maybe with enough passion.
No. The last time they were passionate, it was called the Holocaust. I think I'll pass on that.
Yeah. No. I think overall, if I had to be honest, I support everybody and. I this may be weird for me to think about. I always think about in my lifetime, what am I going to witness? I always think about asking people that went through back in the 1960s and Vietnam and all that stuff. What was the experience? What was that atmosphere like compared to nowadays? With everything that's going on in the world. Like I said, we're not getting into it. I want to know, I want to be able to sit down and tell future generations, man, shit went down. I cannot wait for the 2040 kids and they have a 2020 pop quiz and see how much shit they can remember.
It's just this year has been, It has sucked.
Every month
It's
something
been
new.
something
New.
all the time.
Yeah.
And then we were on basically like lockdown for 2 months. They're kind of opening some stuff up.
So it went like COVID,
Like there's no movies. Like you can't go see new movies right now. They've kind of skipped that.
Murder Hornets.
You can't go bowling. You can't go to bar. Well, you couldn't. You couldn't go to restaurants. You couldn't go golfing or putt putt. You couldn't do a lot of things. So you're locked in your houses. Like tempers are flaring. And then, what did you guys think was going to happen? Like something bad's going to happen when you let people out.
I'm telling you guys, literally listen to the Joker's line when he talks about the people, and he says he's just ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
That as soon as they drop you, let's see how you react. And being honest, I compared people to being in like a cage, like because of the quarantine and stuff, which was probably necessary. Like I said, I'm no doctor.
Sharknado coming soon.
Yeah, like you're trapped in a cage. You're like a wild. I mean, humans are wild animals. I don't care what anybody says. We're wild animals. We just act pretty civil.
Most of the time.
Yeah,
I would say that we act pretty
But don't
civil.
worry, we have a few like.
But look through the history of humanity, okay? We've done some pretty terrible things overall.
Yeah, and like I said,
You know when we stopped doing those terrible things? When some other people who had better morals than the masses said, hey, maybe we should stop doing those terrible things.
Like I said, I like we all say we came from like monkeys and apes and stuff like that. We fling our shit sometimes.
Well,
we
you would
pick it up and go.
You would think that as a society, maybe we shouldn't hurl infant babies off of a bouldery cliff when they're born because they're not perfect, right? You would think that. But it actually took a law to say you weren't allowed to do that anymore before they stopped doing that.
We're like, whoa. Please put the baby down.
Please stop throwing the babies off of cliffs, even though they're not going to be the mightiest of all the warriors in the land.
This is not how birds work, where they throw them out of the nest and hopefully they fly. They're not going to fly.
But it took a law, right?
Yeah, I mean...
It took a law to say, don't break into your neighbor's house and steal his TV.
But guess what?
Can't do that.
Guess what? Like I said, in my lifetime, like we've seen the LGBTQT, there's a ton of letters. They rise up. The whole world, like I said, it's cool, and that's why I love like movies and stuff, because you can see how the comedy has changed in movies. Like jokes you made back on Friends, you can't say now.
Not as easy.
It's
like you get a pass, but sometimes you don't get a pass.
Yeah, and like I said, and people like comedians and stuff, because I know like the whole Jimmy Fallon thing was a big deal. Like it's all in jokes and it's all, whatever. And it sucks because, like I said, you never know, maybe a show you did literally 40 years ago is going to come back and be like, well, Jimmy Fallon's over, party. Like, you're fucked now,
Well, I
buddy.
mean, they did it in cartoons and stuff.
Oh, I know.
Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes cartoons, Tom and Jerry and stuff, they had things that... So, like, when you buy those collections and stuff, those DVD collections or whatever, they preface with, there may be some stuff in this that would be considered racist, but we felt that it would be wrong to just pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's why we've included it. It's not okay then. It's not okay now. Just we're showing you that this was part of culture.
I know. And it's crazy to think about. Like I said, I mean, and everybody that's, doing the whole, Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, all that stuff, like all the protesting and stuff, peaceful rioters and all that stuff.
I say protest.
Like
it's your constitutional right.
And here's the
protest.
Thing. Here's the thing. The world has changed. When things weren't going right, we made change by protesting and stuff like that. So, like I said, I support you guys. I think it's awesome. And like I said, I hope everybody stays safe. I support you guys.
That's my thing.
I
want people to be safe.
What's dope is that you see all these game communities coming out and saying, hey, we're not showing you guys stuff. We're not showing you, like PS5. I know Call of Duty now has a banner. Every time you log in, it pops up and says Black Lives Matter. And it comes out and says, we will do our best to stay diverse and all this stuff. All the support that the world is getting from it. It's pretty cool. But what kind of sucked was, like, SpaceX launched. Like, when all this stuff happened.
This really big historic event.
It's the first...
And I'm not minimizing the importance of what...
But that's a leap.
What the protesters and stuff are doing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to minimize that. Yeah. But... that was a huge historic event.
It's the first new aircraft that's been launched into space other than the STS-1, which, like I said, I watched it. It was actually really cool. And that's another thing. Like, not a lot of people can say that. Like, in your lifetime, did you watch a space rocket go?
I watched the replay. I didn't get to watch the live, but it was cool. I mean,
That was the
we
first-
actually watched it together.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, it got up to like 27,000 miles
I
per
don't
hour.
know. It was
So I was
crazy
talking
fast.
to somebody about that, and they're like, "That's legitimately true."
So, I mean, the thing is, all right, so we've had a hard time doing this show. I mean, we still get out here, we still do it because everything got canceled. All the stuff that we are excited about, they were canceling, postponing. And then now it's like, all right, we're going to slowly open back up. So some things have been trickling down the pipeline.
Yeah.
And now basically the whole world is not really shut down, but kind of like all the focus in the world is on that. And then now it's kind of divided the world into two camps. Basically, you had to shut down everything that you're doing and be pro-support this. If you don't pro-support this and you kind of ignore it and you kind of do your thing that you normally do, well, then you're against it.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with that either. I mean, there's some people that they just can't take all that negativity and that
Oh, I can.
anger. And
Like I said,
I have almost unplugged completely from social media for the last week.
I
haven't been streaming.
I've been about there just because of the fact that like I'm sitting there and I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm not discounting or not even looking at what's going on in the world. It's just the fact that to me, it sucks. It is. You won't find me out there on the front lines protesting. I'm being honest, but at the same time, it sucks because I'm like, man, I'm on a gaming community. Like, the normal day on Twitter and gaming community is memes, some more memes. Hey, anybody want to play this game together?
Yep.
And this, and it's just so much hatred. Like, I see all these people that like, they made a post or something like that. Like, they made a post that saying like, hey, I support this All Lives Matter, and then like people are legitimately, I would say, ruining people's lives. So one of the NFL stars had a text message that because he found out his girlfriend was cheating on him or something, and it was with somebody of a different race, and he found out about it, said something about it to her that wasn't probably appropriate, and she saved that text. That text is 2 years old.
Yeah.
And she brought it up. So like I said, I mean, it's just a weird time. It's a very negative time, but at the same time, we stay positive for you guys. We still make sure you guys come in here and have a good laugh.
So I mean, like my D&D group personally, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to play this week.
I don't blame you.
I felt like there was just so much going on. I felt like it's been emotionally draining. Not only has it been like emotionally draining, like work has been crazy too because everyone has come back. So there's a completely different type of energy. Now I got to get completely reused to that. And I've been busy. So by the time that Friday rolled around, I was like, man, I really want to play. I want to get in your guys' game, but I almost feel like I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm going to hate being there. So I didn't show up on Friday. I was debating on the Saturday playing, but I also just kind of felt like, I'm just going to take a week off, get my mind back in it, and then we'll go back in it. We'll focus next week, and we'll try again.
I kind of feel that way.
We lost one of our players over it.
Yeah.
Not because they didn't agree with us or whatever, but that
No,
they felt like they don't have a lot of free time, right?
Yeah.
So their spare time, their free time, they feel that they should be contributing to this cause.
This movement, yeah.
And I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do with that, but you know what? I 100% support them.
Oh,
And
yeah.
whatever that they feel is in their heart that they have to do, and whatever their moral conscience
Oh.
is leading them to do. I'm not going to get mad because they don't want to keep playing a game with us when there's like important stuff going on in the world.
Like I said, the two main things of this week, and like I said, I feel like even though I don't leave home, like I work from home, it just feels like I need a break.
It does. I mean, I felt like I needed to unplug from the internet, and the only reason that we're here is because we like to do this.
This is what we do. So,
And I don't know. I felt like a week pretty much off of the media radar has helped.
Either I was gonna say either way, we're gonna be here. But yeah, I mean, I think it's important to unwind, and not even just if a big political. I'm gonna call it political. It's probably not the right term for it. A big, movement, political movement, whatever.
You're watching history right now.
I mean, that
you are watching history.
Like I said, you're going to go down 50 years down the road, and maybe your grandkids or something down the road, they're going to come to you and be like, tell me about the 2020 riots and the protests, and you're going to be able to say like, you're going to sound like you're a World War II survivor out here. Like I said, it's
a lot. I mean, I've lived a little longer than you.
Oh, I know.
I've been alive a little longer than you, so I mean, I remember riots. Okay, I remember seeing
Because
some
LA riots.
The LA riots back with Rodney King. Like,
Yep.
I mean, they tried to set that city on fire.
Oh, I know.
On fire.
And like I said, imagine.
I never thought that they were gonna stop.
I know, but
I didn't.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, take Rodney King, what happened there, like the LA riots there,
Which that was some bullshit.
and don't get me wrong, the televised.
Not the rioting and the looting.
We still
them beating his ass like that. That was bullshit.
we still
I
had
should clarify.
we still had the televised portion of it, but we didn't have Twitter. We didn't have this.
No.
In today's term, that's what I like to always think about. Is I'm like, man, imagine like World War II, World War One, all these things, and like wars and riots and protests and all this stuff, and the amount of pictures and documentation. Like, everybody has a phone.
You can't go anywhere anymore without someone pointing a camera at you.
No.
There's cameras everywhere now.
Yeah.
Even where you don't want them to be. Someone is pressing the record button, or someone knows where you're at all the time now.
Exactly.
It's different. Like, now, I don't know anybody that saw the Rodney King tapes, but this was a guy with a camcorder out of his window, like way across the freeway, videoing this, right?
Yeah.
Today, they'd have probably had 7 or 8 different videos of it from different angles showing you about it.
Like I said, with the thing,
And you want to talk about violence?
the reason the reason for the protest now, and like I said, I'm just not going to mention the names, whatever. Like I said, there was a street camera, multiple cameras from the buildings around it, people's cameras,
Yeah.
police officer
Yeah.
cameras. Like, there's 6 different types of cameras working.
They got multiple angles. Someone's going to jail.
Yeah, and like I said,
I'm not trying to make light of it, but I mean, seriously, yeah, they got all the evidence that they need.
Yeah, and there's no, like, and I think that's, in my opinion, that's where I think social media, technology like that has really brought a lot of help in the world, because with that, you gain so much more proof. I mean, imagine back in the day where you didn't have shit. If somebody was like, I saw that dude kill somebody, it was your word versus theirs.
Yeah.
That's it.
And sometimes at all it took, there were still convictions back in the day.
Like I said,
Based solely off of what someone said.
yeah, and that's what I think's so cool about it.
I don't trust pictures or video hardly anymore either. Man,
People can Photoshop. People
they're
can edit.
so good at photoshopping and editing. And I was watching the one guy on, it was one of the science shows that I watch. He came up with a piece of software and technology where he can completely recreate someone's face digitally. Anybody he wants. All he has to have is a picture of it. It'll recreate their face digitally, and it will copy their expressions, their mannerisms, and he could make it look like any person is saying anything he wants them to say in their voice, because it can mimic and copy their voice, their tones. So he had Tom Hanks saying, Tom Hanks doing the lyrics to like an NWA song. And I'm telling you what,
That's funny as shit, though.
it looked like Tom Hanks. It sounded like Tom Hanks. And he was rapping NWA, and it looked legit.
I mean, like I said, technology comes a long way. We work with, like, Alexa and stuff like that. I always think it's going to go off whenever I say it. Like, I try to avoid saying the name, but,
She's always listening.
but, like, that kind of stuff's so cool. Like, I've worked with the technology. I mean, there's people out there that, like, for a fun app, somebody designed a thing that you could type anything in. Any word you wanted in, whether it was Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, whatever. And SpongeBob would translate it back to you. And, like, it's funny because imagine Dirty Mind, and you're like, oh my god, let's screw, but SpongeBob is saying it, and it's fucking hilarious. Like, you're pissing your pants laughing. Like, the AI technology and stuff like that, and, like, robots, and I that's what fascinates me. Like I said, the world's a puzzle right now.
I think it's, dude, I know that the science fiction, the movies that we grew up with,
they're starting to become real.
We really felt like by the year 2000, when we were kids, no lie, we felt that by the year 2000 we would have flying cars. We would have people living in like floating cities in the sky.
Yeah, you ever seen Star Wars when they go to the city?
Yeah, that's what we kind of thought.
Back to the Future. Like,
if you go back and you look at the cartoons and stuff that we watched as kids, and that our parents watched as kids, and our grandparents watched as kids, like the great grandparents and stuff of the
Jetsons,
Looney Tunes and the Jetsons and stuff like that. All those images of the future in the year 2000, they were all flying cars and hovercrafts and space lasers and death rays and So like when we hit 2000, I was like, "Where's my spaceship? You know, when do I get to fly?"
Sharks with freaking laser.
And now
beams
we're in
attached to their head.
2020, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that the technology is
And
definitely
not one flying car.
not one flying car.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at?
Yeah, where?
Where's our teleporters?
Honestly, if they had teleporters in the world, I wouldn't even care about the
People
flying
would be the
cars.
laziest people ever.
Dude, imagine if you could just go to Taco Bell, there and back, bam.
Why would you have to go to Taco Bell? I can punch in my credit card from my house and have them teleport the food to
Just-
my house.
Throw it.
You want to talk about instantaneous delivery? You want to talk about people getting to be those big fatties on the what is it, Wall-E?
I'll make it. I'll
You
name.
remember where they stopped moving and using their legs and they're on the little hover chairs? All the people are all fat.
We'll do Uber ports, and it'll be
We should invent that.
Uber ports.
Man, hey Trudy, oh my gosh, thanks for the star donation again.
You're so nice. You're the best person ever. You help make our dreams come true. Wow, a whole $5. Maybe I'll go to the movies.
Oh,
by
wait.
myself.
Oh wait, you can't. There ain't nothing playing at the movie theater right
Don't
now.
worry, that came from both of us.
So what do you think is going to happen? Let's just say hypothetically with
Next month,
with the opening of movie theaters and stuff, especially movies, because
So,
that is such a big topic
if
to us.
if you want my opinion,
Nothing new, right?
So here's what's going on right now.
They shut down production on movies.
Yes, but I think, like I said,
Do you think they got some that are in the reels, or they got just for backup that?
I think
We're
Corona,
ready?
I think Corona is at halftime right now. Like this is halftime. This is
halftime.
We're teeing up. We're like, hey, we got to call a timeout. We're gonna go to the locker room. We're gonna come back.
We're gonna trick these motherfuckers. We're gonna get them all back outside, and then it's gonna be stage 2 Corona 20.
So I think if you want my opinion, so movie theaters and stuff like that, I know a lot of salons have opened back up. Cedar Point, Kings Island, Cedar Point's opening up on June 19th for the public. If you want my opinion, I don't fear it, me personally. I don't have a lot of fear in it. And I think how it will work is it will just be like, it'd be no different if you go to the movie theater and like it's a busy showing.
Well, I've seen some
You could easily, because where we go, there's 2 chairs.
There's assigned seating.
There's assigned seating, so you pick your spot. And if you sat people,
They're gonna only let probably half capacity for movie theaters.
but that's what I'm trying to say. If you were like, okay, well this row has 12 chairs in it, okay, you're only gonna seat 6 people out of the 12. Okay, cool, whatever. Like I said, I don't think
So on those big movies, sometimes it's hard to get a ticket, right?
it's
Is
gonna
that-
be.
Is that gonna make it even harder now because now you're only getting half the capacity?
It's gonna be harder, but I think what you'll see is that they'll extend.
Scalpers, you're gonna see scalpers.
Not that. No.
You want tickets to the new Avengers movie? $100.
You're gonna see people. You're gonna see movies get extended longer. How long they're in theaters? Because there are some movies that I'm not gonna lie that I'm really disappointed I didn't get to see in theaters.
Yep.
Movie like, and I'm talking day it came out. I'm not talking they re-released it in the theaters.
Scoob.
Yeah, I'm real.
I would have went and seen Scoob in the theater.
Real fucking sad about that one.
That movie, by the way,
Is fucking.
we loved it.
Yes. But like Avengers Endgame, would have loved to see that on theaters opening night.
You never saw that in the theater.
No.
That's your fault. There was no fucking Corona then.
All right, let's hit the end stream button. We need to have a talk. But no, like I said, like that whole, because I think that's what I live for, man. I live for the fact that we're in a movie theater and like,
You missed the Joker too. You missed the Joker in the theater.
yeah, that was my fault too.
Also your fault.
Yeah, no Corona was around then. But we're not talking about when Corona wasn't here. But like it's the fact of something cool happens in a movie and like the whole fucking theater goes nuts. They're like, holy shit, like yeah, like that kind of thing.
The best I have 2 really good movie theater experience, 3 technically, but one of the best ones I ever had was when I went to go see South Park, the original South Park movie, Bigger, Longer, Uncut. One of the most non-PC movies ever, non-PC friendly movies. Great movie. Really funny. So we had been watching the show for the whole time that it had been out. We were huge fans. So when we went to the movies to watch it, everyone that was in the theater on opening night was a huge fan of South Park.
Yeah.
Everybody. So you could tell that this was going to be a slightly different movie-going experience when they got to the first song that everyone in the theater knew. Because it was a song they had sung on the show before, and that's Kyle's Mom's a Bitch.
Kyle's mom's a big fat bitch. She's the
So
biggest bitch in the whole wide world.
when they
Yeah.
got to that song, everyone in the movie theater, and I hadn't had an experience like this since the Rocky Horror Picture Days, start singing the words to the song. Well, they extended the song, and it was different now, so then people didn't really know what to do. But you want to talk about uproarious laughter, people applauding, people clapping. It was one of the coolest movie theater experiences that ever was that. And you'll get that in some movie-going experiences. I experienced it in the Avengers, too, when I went to go see the original Avengers movie at a midnight showing at the Marathon. The theater wasn't packed, but I tell you what, that like 10 people in our special private screening was one of the coolest experiences ever. People were yelling like, "Get him, Captain America!" And we're like, it was awesome. It was a really cool experience.
I think my top movie experience, the first one being National Treasure. We got to see a private screen.
We did.
That was badass.
That was cool.
That was one of... I've never
done that was like a sneak preview.
I don't know how we got it.
Jeff.
Jeff worked in the movie theater.
From Comic Town.
Yep. So I wish he watched the show right now because I would talk about him. But Jeff. So he got us a special screening of, and it was cool. They had door prizes.
It was cool. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was one of the.
That theater was packed too.
Yeah, it was a full theater, and I think it was the smaller ones, but it was a full theater.
It was a cool experience.
What was the other? The other experience I think I had was
Blade. We went and seen Blade. I don't know if you were there for that one.
No,
we got sneak passes to that one, and when we went to go see that one, we had more tickets than we had people. So there was a couple of people standing outside, and we were like, "Hey, do you guys want to see Blade?" And he's like, "Well, that's not out yet." And he's like, "Well, we're going to go see it. If you want to go, here's 2 tickets." So him and his son, they went in and watched it. And when we left, they were like, "Man, that was so cool." Because 1, they didn't have to pay for the ticket. It didn't cost anything. And 2, they got to see a movie that wasn't even out yet. It wasn't going to be out for a couple weeks.
I think the other movie was seeing Hobbit when the first Hobbit came out. And
I thoroughly enjoyed the first Hobbit.
Watching it and the overall, like, all the battle scenes, and when it left on that cliffhanger, they're like, oh, fuck. Man, like,
well, that was Lord of the Rings for me. Fellowship of the Ring, when we went to go see that.
I think I think I've seen every Lord of the Ring movies in theater.
I saw all of them. I saw all the Hobbits in the theater too.
I saw all the Hobbits in the theater because I saw all the Hobbits day one they came out, because the last one I saw was with Abel. He's in the chat. He comes rolling up. It's like 12 o'clock. This dude looks like a full grown ass man. This dude's like 16 years old. Big old jacket on, like looks like he's mall security walking around there.
He looks like Paul Blart.
Yeah. Hold it to the side, act like you got it, but you don't. Yeah, no. So we watched that one. That one was badass. I saw Return of the King, and I know I saw Twin Towers. The only one I don't know is the first one, The Fellowship. But I believe we did, because I think I nutted when Aragorn held up his blade and started just slaying fucking orcs.
Well, I actually went and saw the first Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, 2 times in the same day.
Nice.
So I had an opportunity to go with my friends at, I forget what time of day it was, but I also knew that if I went and seen this movie without your dad, he would be livid. So I got home from watching the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah. Went
over to your dad's house, and we went to the theater, and I watched it again. And I made it act like I hadn't seen it.
Like, holy shit.
My soul feels so much better getting that story off my chest. But it was a good movie, so I didn't mind.
Well, now you got good karma.
Because I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I'm watching a movie for the first time, especially when there's a lot going on, there's a lot of things to see.
Got his ribs cracked at a midnight showing of Half-Blood Prince. Well, no wonder, because you watched a Harry Potter movie.
Oh, he hates Harry Potter. He doesn't know what's good.
Fuck Harry Potter.
XTix31, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, no.
Is this one of your friends? It's on your channel, so I assumed that he knew who you were.
How do you know it's on my channel? Why are you judging my channel?
Because your channel always brings out all the best people. Except for my channel, which brings out better people.
You're consistent.
But no, so yeah, I went and saw that one twice, and it was good. But I have a hard time sometimes when the first time you watched Infinity War, theater, doesn't matter where you watched it. I don't remember where you watched it. There was so much going on in that movie. You're ingesting so much. So I don't know about you, but you have this like idea in your head of what the movie's going to be like, and then it's happening, And when parts start exceeding what you feel it should be, you're like, that's those happy moments for you. You're like, yeah, because you, or if they do something that you enjoyed that you didn't expect. But when they do stuff and you're like, I hated that. Why? You're angry immediately. Rise of Skywalker is the best example of that. When you feel just disappointed the whole time you're watching it.
So this is how I judge movies. So I don't know about anybody else, but do you ever get like a sense in your back when something good happens? Like it's a tingly feeling. Like you literally, your whole back goes numb. It's like a chill goes up your back.
Yeah.
And you're just smiling ear to fucking ear.
It's ear to ear.
Ear to ear.
Captain America picking up Mjolnir. That was me.
That's how
I was like, ooh, I felt that in my soul.
That's how I judge movies. If that comes out of me, I'm like, that's a fucking badass movie. Perfect example. Rambo. The newest one that came out.
Loved it. I don't know why people hate that movie.
The newest one that came out, everybody's like, oh, there was no plot to it. I'm like, you obviously haven't seen a Rambo movie.
The plot is Rambo kills everyone.
It's Rambo got fucked over, Rambo gets payback.
Yeah, every time. That's always the plot. It's been the same thing since First Blood.
And the that's not your bad. Oh my God. But it's just the fact of all that stuff that happens. Like,
when's the last time that you had
that moment,
that feeling? Like, what's the most recent movie you can say? Is there a movie that every time you watch it you still get that feeling?
Oh hell yeah.
What's that? What's your favorite movie that still gives you that, like, that tingly feeling?
Oh my God, that's tough. Still gives me the tingly feeling. That's man.
Every time you watch it.
Because it has to be an action.
I don't think it necessarily has to be action. Sometimes it could just be a powerful speech in a movie or a dialogue moment. Works for me.
Oh. Remember the Titans.
There you go. See, that's that same feeling. You feel that all the way up into... It hits you in the back of your brain and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a better person.
Remember the Titans when he's laying in the hospital bed and the nurse says, sorry, only family in here. And she's like, are you blind?
I got it right there. Look, it just hit me all the way through there.
Yeah.
I know the scene that you're talking about.
Yeah. Are you blind? That's my brother. And like, obviously, during that time. That and Blindside.
Yeah.
Blindside.
Like I said, it doesn't necessarily be action because you get that feeling sometimes when you hear when there's a really emotional moment.
Oh, dude.
Or when there's a really powerful moment like Good Will Hunting, right? I don't know if you've ever seen Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting.
But
where Robin Williams' speech, yeah.
Yeah, the whole speech that he's given him about love.
Oh yeah.
Like if that doesn't hit you right in the soul, you have no soul. Because you're a ginger.
Trust me, I sit around and I'm not gonna lie, I sit around and watch motivational quotes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just love to be motivated by that stuff. Like that stuff literally sends a tingle down my spine every time I watch it. Like when I hear, and I'm not talking like actual professional like speakers where they, like not like I'm trying to think of the one dude's name. I think it's Tony something, whatever. He's a motivational speaker. They've made fun of him multiple times, but like I'm not talking that. I'm talking like actual movie quotes, but like with some like pretty hard hitting music behind it. I'm like, damn.
Like the Matthew McConaughey ones.
Yeah.
He does a whole series of actual like motivational speeches.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, you listen to that stuff and you're like, I'm a terrible person.
No, it makes me.
I'm a bad person.
It makes me want to get up. Like, I think I listened to one at like 3 a.m. when I was reading, which I read and listen to music. It's easier for me to focus, which doesn't make any sense. Everybody's like, well, how do you focus on the book? I'm like, because I'm not really listening to the words that much. I'm just motivated. I cleaned my whole room inside out and like dusted. It's fucking 4 a.m. Like,
I get motivated, like weirdly motivated like that sometimes where I have to, there's a project, I have to do it and I have to do it right now. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, what's going on. I have to stop everything I'm doing and focus on that.
That's how I feel. I feel personally I play better at video games when my room is like spotless. I
think that overall, I feel that people do things better when their life is in order. Whether that's the room that you're in being in order, your car, like when your car is clean, don't you feel that your car drives better even though it's the same car?
Oh yeah.
Don't you feel like it's like psychological? You feel like your car is getting better gas mileage. You feel like you don't notice the bumps in the road as bad.
But then again, I'm also the same person that if I'm walking down the street, I always think of like movie scenes, like when fucking Spider-Man's walking down the street, like he's got the biggest dick in the world. Like yeah, like I feel like that. But like when I'm driving in my little 2015 Honda Civic, I feel like I'm fucking driving a like
Lamborghini.
I'm driving Vin Diesel's fucking dad's car, just like ready to pop
He's
it. I
driving-
live my life a quarter mile at a time.
He's driving the Lambo.
But like, I think I'm just like the hottest shit in the world. And like, music's playing in my background. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I never feel like that in my hatchback.
Never feel like
No
that.
matter how clean my
All
car
right,
is.
dude. So I gotta show you this because I think you'll really enjoy this. If
Okay.
I can pull it up.
No, that's Pornhub. We don't want to watch that.
I'm down.
Just take that off. Don't pay attention to the midget porn on there. It's fine.
Let's see. You got to keep talking. I'm on here.
I don't know what you're doing.
Just keep talking.
I don't know what you're doing. He's looking on something on YouTube. I have no idea.
It's really hard to type.
Well, he's like real far. He's trying to type stuff into the computer right now.
Dude, I listened to this the other day, and I'm not gonna lie. I was.
Wait, are we gonna play this for the people?
Yes.
Okay.
This is badass.
Is all the sound going to be diverted through that? We'll find out.
It's gonna go. I'm gonna mute the mic.
Okay.
All right. So I listened to this.
Okay.
And I think
this is a weird little. Is this motivational or?
Dude, you being a Darth Vader fan, you may or may not listen to this every morning when you get up.
Okay. Well,
right.
This is an exclusive. I have no idea what this is. This was not planned.
All right.
This was not part of the show.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna mute the mic so you guys won't be able to hear us, but you guys should be able to hear this. All right.
Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Vader.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in doubt!
I know there is good in you.
It is too late to move, son.
I feel the good in you. The conflict.
There is no conflict.
I mean, I don't really fully understand the video that was going with it.
There's no.
But
the video's not bad.
But,
It's
but,
the
the,
soundboard.
but the little speech, yeah. I mean, but I told you before that Star Wars to me it's everything.
I know.
I know you guys make fun of me a lot because of how much those movies have meant to me, and
They're
and even though like I didn't love all the decisions made in the new movies. I didn't love all the decisions made in the prequels. I'll be honest with you, I didn't love all the decisions made in the original trilogy either.
They grow on you.
Like Ewoks, fuck Ewoks, right? Like those dumb. Like I don't get that, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But Wookiees are sweet, but Star Wars to me, up until the new trilogy, like the originals and then the prequels, basically told this overall arcing story of basically the rise and fall of Vader. That's pretty much what it was all about. His eventual discovery, his fall, and then his redemption at the end. And that's why I don't really understand where the new movies kind of fit in with that, because it had the Skywalker name attached to it. But it didn't really... I mean, Vader was redeemed at the end, right? Like, and that's... I don't really care. I feel like they didn't have to be called Part 7, 8, and 9. They could have been just like its own thing, not been part of the Skywalker. But I liked it. I did. I liked Finn as a character. I thought Poe was cool. I liked Rey. There's a lot of little girls out in the world now who
Want to be Rey.
and I think that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Just like when I was growing up, there was little girls that wanted to be Leia, and they wanted to be Wookiees and everything.
And then they
else.
turned into slave Leia. Those whores.
And now they're on Instagram showing their tits to everybody for free.
No, OnlyFans.
OnlyFans and Patreon, got it.
Yeah.
But Star Wars to me is everything, and it's been such a huge part of my life. I'd say that there's only one thing that would even come close to rivaling it in overall importance in my life, and that's probably Dungeons and Dragons.
Not the answer we were going for. That is incorrect. Sorry. Next question.
You thought it was you?
It should be.
No, I meant things like an outside influence, not your family, not your friends, not your spouse.
I'm gonna make this promise to you. You won't have an ordinary tombstone. You're going out with a Darth Vader fucking custom built tombstone.
I want to.
Helmet and all, but cracked helmet, and then I'm gonna have your head like in a jar
I mean,
in my house.
Aren't there things culturally that have been as important to you as anything that you learned from your parents or school or your favorite teacher
So
or a pastor or whoever? Aren't there things that have spoken to you in a way that nothing else really has? And it's not meant to. It was meant for entertainment.
So, my personal opinion, I think I like to think I'm funny.
Sure, I think you're a funny guy.
I like to think so. I learned everything I know from movies. I can quote so many movie quotes and all this stuff, and I remember them because they affect me. Because I'm like, damn, I'm going to use that one. Like, because I know not a lot of people have seen movies, so a lot of my jokes are actually from movies.
Seti came in and says she wanted to be Leia and take charge. Like Leia from episode 4. I mean,
Yeah.
she came in and she wasn't taking no shit from nobody. She wasn't scared of nothing. She was fearless.
Yeah, but that was my thing. Like I said, a lot of what I've learned in life, and like I guess the motivational, like, because like I said, the world can suck at times. It can be the world can be on your side, and it feels like, man, I'm invincible. And then other days it's just like, man, this fucking sucks. So like I know video games have spoke volumes. And the fact that now video games get the recognition they deserve for, like, you're not a nerd if you play video games, that's actually badass.
I think that when you're younger, there are things sometimes that become such a huge part of who you are.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you don't even realize how big of a part they become of who you are. Case in point, people that grew up reading comic books, more specifically that grew up in the 60s and the 70s reading Marvel comics, a lot of times, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of times those people are able to empathize a little bit more with diversity in the world, as far as accepting people for who they are, no matter what color they are, what race they are, where they come from, what kind of status they have in life, and that's because that's what Stan Lee did.
I agree.
You know, there's a diverse cast of characters within the Marvel universe.
I think everybody has at least one thing in their life where they're like, I don't care what it is. Like, I would never give this up. Don't matter who the person it's for, I'm never going to give that up.
Well, sometimes it's not something like a movie or a game or a book. Sometimes it's an activity like football. Sometimes football defines who that person is. Everything that they ever learned about life, they learn from their coach on the football field.
Well, like I said, you get a career-ending injury, and all you know is football or something like that. That to me is no different than if, you know, whatever, like maybe you got bullied or something to not play video games, and you gave up like on a passion, gave up on everything you knew, or something was ripped away from you. That's all you knew. Then you don't know how to live life.
First video game that made you cry. Maybe you didn't actually physically cry, but man, you could have. Like it hit you that emotional.
Oh man.
I don't feel that video games really became the source of storytelling until maybe PlayStation 2 era.
I would say that almost made me cry.
Yeah, or it did. I mean, there's no shame in that. Like, people cry.
Man. I wouldn't say it was a game.
What about audience at home? What was the first video game or movie that you watched that just made you bawl your eyes
So I'm
out?
going to go with World War II.
Okay.
I'm going to go with World War II Call of Duty. And that's... I'm going to go with that one for 2 reasons. So, it was an event. So we were going to a competitive match for an event. And leading up to that, pretty much this was the timeline. The week before the event, we always left out on Wednesdays. Got there on Thursday, played Friday. Monday hit. I was packing my shit and moving back home. Because things happened with an ex, whatever. So, my mind...
was not in a good place anyway.
Not in a good place. It was a little bit of relief, a little bit of like, damn, this sucks. Okay, now I got to start figuring things out. I got to move shit. I got to get set up. I got to figure out where I'm going to sleep. All this stuff. So, you know, very chaotic. So, I missed the last 3 days of practice. Did not touch a controller 3 days before an event. And that's not a good sign. We go to the event. I have my best placing ever. I'm on the plane. And I went by myself. It was the farthest I've ever been from home in my life by myself. No,
And this was in California, right?
no, this was Seattle.
Seattle.
Never knew, didn't know what to do. It was an experience. I think that experience right there, and like going to the event, having my best placement ever, beating some pretty solid teams, it was probably the coolest moment. Because it felt to me like I accomplished something. Like I may never get better than this, which is fine. But this is where I'm at. So it was just cool. I think that was probably one of the moments that I'm like, damn, all the hours I put in, because my brother was FaceTiming me every match. Like, me and him talked before every match. He would ask, like, how I'm doing, like, how am I playing? And my brother doesn't know shit about Call of Duty. Like, he plays it, but he doesn't get the level that I play at. And, like, he's calling me, he's like, oh, dude, you're going to go fucking smack the competition, and he never cusses, and it's actually really funny when he does. So it was just, like, that was a cool moment, because, like, whole family supported me. Some of the games were streamed. So, like, the one round that was caught on stream, I don't know if I still have it. It was a 1v3 clutch to take it to map 3. And I always played sniper in Call of Duty. It was an insane, like, the sniper's not supposed to win in a 1v3. They had bomb planted, they just had to play time. They ended up losing. We clutched. We would go on to win the third match with 1 second left on the clock to win the game. Because I had 2 teammates actually legitimately about to beat the shit out of each other. Like,
So
actually
this was
fist
more
fight.
an experience of the game
That
that made you cry, not necessarily the story of the game.
But it was because of the fact that I was competing and I wasn't doing well, and it was to the point where I was like, man, I think I'm just gonna give this up. Like, I was almost at the point where I was done competing on any game. I wasn't gonna go play CS:GO. I wasn't gonna go play League and try to go at the highest level. I was done. Like, I was like,
I
fuck
know
competing.
you're a lot like me, and emotional stuff in games, just like in movies and stuff, you're like, yeah, they shot Old Yeller, but he had the rabies. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he had to die.
Yeah.
Like, we see the logic behind it. We see the.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, we've seen sad movies and we've played sad games.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I'm emotionless when it comes to it, but
It's kind of like, I know it's a movie, so it's like, but like I already told you, the one scene in my whole entire, like, movie TV watching career that actually emotionally fucked with me was Marshall's dad having a heart attack.
yeah.
And then I started watching.
You want to talk about bawling? Dude, the first time I watched that, it was like tears, and I'm trying to, like, be tough, but there's no one around, so I don't have to be tough.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you're a dude, or even when you're a girl and you just don't really like to cry, but you got the snot bubbles coming out, and you're trying everything you can to not.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at yourself in the mirror like, I'm not crying, you're crying.
Yeah, that was. But like I said, I was watching some things on that episode. They count it down.
Yeah.
In the episode. Yeah. So it's like counted down, and I was like,
That's
and-
such a great show.
and even after today, I know what episode it is.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what's going to happen.
I still feel the same way about it.
I don't feel as sad, but it is
Oh,
really
no, I'm still
sad.
just
By the way,
as sad.
spoiler alert for the people who haven't seen it. His dad does die. It's later in the show. It's not like it
Oh,
was
dude,
at season
it's-
1
It's like
or season 2.
I think it's one of the. It's not the last
It's
season.
not the last
It's the
season,
one right
no.
before it.
But it was the first season that I started watching the show. And I was just like, oh, hell no. Like, whew.
Yeah.
Because I had binge watched and got caught up. So we got some good responses from the video games that make them cry. Flip the Table says Gears of War 3. I'm not familiar.
Badass game.
I'm not really familiar with the franchise, but hey.
The way it ends, it's pretty bad.
Seti says Final Fantasy VII, the OG Final Fantasy VII. I did play Final Fantasy VII. I know why she's
Yeah.
talking about it. It brings up the whole
And last.
the whole issue of your character being mortal. Like, they bring that up, like, you can't live forever. And then The Last of Us at the beginning when the dude's daughter dies. Have you played The Last of Us?
Last of Us is rough.
Brutal.
Yeah.
For me, I'd say that there are 2 games, and I don't remember any older games that I felt that kind of emotional thing. Like I said, I grew up in the Mario era and the Castlevania era. Those games aren't sad. I don't really feel that games became really super narratively driven until I'd say probably maybe PS1, PS2 era. But I would honestly say the first game I remember kind of hit me right in the groin box and like, oh, this is sad, was The Walking Dead, the Telltale Walking Dead games.
With the dude and his daughter.
It wasn't him and his daughter. That's not his daughter. her family basically all got killed by zombies. It's very Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
So her family got killed by zombies, and she's by herself. And this guy actually was going to jail when the outbreak happened. And then at the end, no spoiler alerts, but it's sad. I'm not going to tell you how, but it was sad. I was just like, oh, I'm very sad right now. I kind of want to go home and drink myself to sleep. And I'd say the other one is actually a pretty recent game it was recent for me. I'd never played it before, but it's a little bit older. Is To the Moon. And I told you about that game. I said it's kind of one of the weirdest games I've ever played. It's a very odd game, but it kind of spoke to me on a very, very personal level about mental health and mental awareness and health issues that maybe some people can't comprehend, but messed with me, like sadness. That's true. The Blair Witch, which was not like
You talked about that for like a week.
you want to talk about messing me up? Like it affected me emotionally, not scary. Like I wasn't playing the game like, oh god, this is the scariest game ever. This is a horror game, but the way that they touched upon mental health and how the main antagonist, the supernatural force in the forest, plays on the main character's post-traumatic stress disorder from the war, his probably schizophrenia, his bipolarness. It all comes to a head at one point, and the dude clearly has issues.
Yeah.
Like he has problems. And when I was done playing that game, I felt changed.
Yeah.
By it, not because it was scary. And don't get me wrong, the game it's pretty creepy.
Yeah. I think I just haven't played a lot of story games. I think that's why.
I love story games, but me and Janet, we played To the Moon. I played it all the way through in one day. It took about 3.5, 4 hours.
Nice.
And even she said it was sad. It was just the way that the game ends. The whole overall arc of the game is just sad. It's just sadness. So, great game, beautifully done.
Great game.
But it's sad. Like if you don't like those kinds of movies or books or whatever, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah. What are we at time wise?
About an hour 20. Minus the 10 minutes for the countdown.
Yeah. It's
probably about time.
It's about that time.
It's about time, guys.
So, kind of final, probably a little bit of announcement. I know we talked about it in the beginning of the show with Abel. We would like to congratulate, because I know it's going to be coming soon. He's starting up streaming, so once he gets set up, we'll probably announce his Twitch name and stuff. But he will be joining us with Those Two Nerds. Probably
not on the show.
He's not on the show.
Because Those Two Nerds is a brand.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
It's a brand we're very proud of.
Yes.
And we've worked very hard to
get there.
To maintain.
And we're not getting a new logo.
No new logo. We're not changing the name of the thing to Those Three Nerds. Those Two Nerds is us. That's our thing.
Yep. We're just so he's going to be an affiliate for us. So he's going to still be streaming, but he's going to start up streaming and pretty much like promote / like work with us. So,
we're going to give him props. He's going to give us props.
Yep.
It's kind of a mutual
family
thing.
Yeah.
And we got 2 more people who are kind of on the up and up in the streaming that have expressed it that we're kind of looking at. You guys probably know who you are, but we're not going to drop names yet until you guys kind of get your stuff all situated, because I know that you guys are kind of working on it. But we are planning on branching out and becoming more like a conglomerate of different types of media personalities. Like this is ours, and Those Two Nerds is going to be a brand. We're going to actually branch out. And maybe one of you guys can, and we're going to help you, and you're going to help us. So.
Yeah. And like I said, it's team effort, and it's not going to be one of those things where, we're not trying to go corporate with it, and it's nothing like that.
No, it's not. It's not even a money thing.
But what it wants to do, we want to basically help you guys help us. Obviously, the more people that talk about us going through your channel, the more we talk about you, stuff like that. Like it's just a team effort type thing. But I know that's one of our things. So congratulations to Abel or Tadasu Yutari. Welcome to the Those Two Nerds brand. I think you're still here. You should be still here. I told you to be here. Yeah, asshole.
Let's see. Only other really cool announcement is anyone that owns a Switch. I know they're hard to find. Highly recommended game of the week is Clubhouse 51. Games of the World or whatever. Game is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have any footage of it, but it's basically like a bunch of different board games. There's like Mahjong and Texas Hold'em and Blackjack. checkers, chess, but they actually brought back in some of the old Wii games from like Wii Sports. More specifically, anyone that has been missing playing Wii Bowling, they have like a version which is basically Wii Bowling. It's awesome. We played it last night, and it was a really good time. And the game it's not a full $60 release, which I liked. It's also a game that where normally, you know me, I'm like buy a physical. I love to buy physical. I could see people buying this as a digital because it's a thing you just kind of turn on and.
Party games. Yeah.
The other thing that I really liked about it, and I feel that this is a really huge selling point, is if you have the game and other people want to play with you and they don't have the game, they can download this free app and play the games with you locally.
Nice.
So if you guys both want to play checkers,
Little car racing.
but you don't really want to drop the $40 on the game, but you want to play checkers with your friend who has the game and you have a Switch, you download the free app, you guys both can play together.
Awesome.
So it's pretty cool.
Yep.
The little car racing was cool. So it's like you remember like the tracks that we used to set up as kids.
Yeah, the RC cars.
It's like those. So you have like the little track. It looks like it's in a bedroom or whatever, and you only have the functionality is very limited. So you basically have an accelerator on the stick, and you kind of control how fast you want it to go, and that's it. Like
Okay.
that's all that it does.
All right. I mean,
It's really fun. We played it, and I was like, nah, this game's gonna be dumb. It's called Slot Cars. It's super fun.
okay.
You can actually hook up a couple of switches together and make the tracks bigger for that game. You also can do battle tanks and a couple other games
That's
where
sweet.
you set your screens all down and it works together. It's pretty sweet.
Nice. All right. Well,
Well, flip the table. You're saying what? What?
he's probably talking about you can share.
You can't share the full game, but you can set up a game room, and I think it'll support up to 4 players on some games. So if one person has it, and the other people don't, and they don't really want to drop the money on it, but they want to play, as long as you're within range of the local communication features, then
You're
one
good.
person has the game, the other people can download the free app and play with that person. So, but yeah, Slot Cars was fun. We haven't played all the games on there. We played the game that's kind of like Othello, and we played Dots and Boxes. I'm sure you don't remember that game. We played, it's like Connect 4.
Do a poker night.
They don't call it that. We played. There's
Yeah.
a game on there like Yahtzee, and the game's super polished. It looks good. It's a $40 game. It's not a $60 release. Honestly, if they'd have been like, pay $60 for this, I probably would have laughed at them and still gave them my money anyway, because I buy all the first party Nintendo games.
Yeah.
But it's really highly recommended. And anyone else that's I guess back to this whole like affiliate thing and this conglomerate thing. Anyone else that's kind of like doing the streaming. Like, and you're thinking about it, and you're like, oh, I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
Get your stuff together. If you need help, we'll help you.
Mhm.
And do it.
And
You
if
got to start doing it. You can't be like, oh, I want to do it, and I don't want to.
But-
I don't want to work it all for myself.
Yep.
You got to get on. You got to do it.
yeah, and it's gonna be a strictly enforced thing.
Oh, look at all the yawnies over there.
I was up until 6 a.m. So
I was up till about 2:30 playing The Last of Us.
that's 4 more hours, boss man. Okay, so it's one of those things where we want people to be consistent. We get lives get crazy and stuff. We're trying to shoot for people that can stream 3 days at least a week. I know that's tough, but we're still.
I'd be happy if we could just get a person that's like, Wednesdays is my day. That's when I go.
And that's fine. And like I said, and Tuesdays or like, if you stream on Tuesdays for 12 hours, like that's cool with us. Like we just want to make sure that we're getting represented the right way. Because like I said, we don't want to be telling our followers and viewers and stuff like that we get to go drop a follow on somebody that only streams like 1 day a week.
I also don't
Because
wanna,
it's tough. Because then if you're not there for that 1 day a week, guess what? Now you're not looking to.
I also don't want to give anyone the thumbs up who does things I would say that kind of go against what we agree in.
Yeah, because you will be representing us.
As far as like, okay, you know how we are. We don't really no hate stuff, right? Like no hate speech at all.
We avoid talking.
That's
any
really about all of the things I think. I would say no hate speech.
I just avoid current events like
If you wanted to talk hatred towards a gaming company, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But
politics. and all
I,
that
you know
stuff.
what? I don't even care if you're political.
I don't know.
That's your business. But none of this hate-filled rhetoric, none of this bigotry.
I'm down.
You know what I mean? Like if we get wind and you're like, oh man, we hate all white people. All white people are terrible.
You're probably not going to make the cut.
You're probably not going to be in the show.
You will be considered, but you
You
probably
will be
won't make...
considered a racist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And that's how episode 45 ends.
yeah.
Racist. I just hit the back button.
I don't know what you're doing over there, man.
I don't know how to end it.
But yeah, get you guys a stream and stuff. We got a couple people that we're looking at. Anyone new that's wanting to do it, just get on and do it.
Yep. And
With that, we're out of here, guys. It's been a good.
we're leaving?
We're done. We didn't even have any content planned this week, man. Like, everything's canceled, everything's closed, the whole world's on hold.
We're
so
leaving?
Everything's done.
Hang on. I gotta do one more thing.
Dude, I don't want to subscribe to you. I'm trying to subscribe to myself.
You can't. You already subscribed to yourself. Look, all right, guys. We're all gonna do the dance. Okay, here it comes. Come on.
You're gonna get our stream muted because you still have that song.
What are you talking about? I'll end it. I'll end
Bro,
it.
you have that from last year.
Yeah, it's September 25th night. Yeah, you've been a sub for 9 months. Congratulations.
Oh man!
As soon as it starts playing, I'm gonna
what
end
a
the
good
stream.
show.
Wait for it. It's got about 10 more seconds before I'm like, I give up.
Flip the Table said he's going for what is it? Free to play games on the Switch. He wants to kind of do a spotlight on
Like I
free to
said,
play games.
I
I think that's cool.
it's gonna be like a application process. Like, we're gonna come to your streams when you say you're gonna be on. We're gonna kind of give you some pointers. Either way, if you don't make the cut, I don't think it would be pretty hard not to.
It would be really hard not to.
But like I said, we can give you pointers on how to get better, and that's the whole thing. It's a team environment. We want people to get better. So be willing to work with other people. And if you can't work with other people, well, it's just not going to work out between us. Okay?
We're going to have to just see other people.
Okay, Karen? All right. But I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys all so much for watching again. Episode 45 in the books.
45. We're almost at the year mark.
7 weeks.
We almost made it.
7 weeks.
We got to do something really special for the year mark.
I'm getting butt-ass naked.
Okay.
But, like, we're only going to do next stream. You're only going to be able to see our neck.
I'll make sure to get a tan from here up.
Yeah, down. All right. Have a good one, guys. Episode 45 out.
CELEA.